Good evening.
Good evening.
How's it going?
Good. Little munchkin down.
For now, she
For
is
now.
terrified.
Oh,
Yeah, she won't sleep.
poor girl.
She keeps saying skeletons, skeletons. She had a
Well, yeah, I mean,
she had a panic attack in Target the other day because she saw the Halloween decorations
oh,
and there was like a big skeleton and she freaked out and now she won't go into grocery stores.
oh,
Yeah.
our little poppet.
So I guess spirit of Halloween is out of the question.
Yeah. Maybe she just doesn't like it. And then maybe they scare her because they remind her of the ghosties she sees.
Maybe. Yeah,
Yeah.
possibly. So my night has been the last 2 hours have been battling her trying to go to bed. And I've given up and I'm letting her sleep on the couch. I can't. I'm
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. No kidding, right? Whatever. You do what you got to do,
Exactly.
Mama, she screams and put her in her room, but she sleeps on the couch. She's sleeping on the couch tonight.
Exactly.
And she's not a baby. She's capable of walking, getting up and walking. So
Right.
all right. So how was your weekend?
Worked. Went to the pumpkin patch on Sunday. So Kai had a lot of fun playing on the farm. What about you?
I was in Blacksburg in Virginia at the Virginia Tech football game. And that was a lot of fun because I got to hang out with my kid and his girlfriend and another sober friend of mine that lives down there and stuff. So that was a lot of fun.
I loved your pictures.
Oh, thank you.
The
It's
proud
fun. I
mama
loved yours.
pictures.
It looked like there's especially that one of you and Kaya together.
Yeah, we don't get many pictures together.
Yeah. Well, at least ones where she's not like with her fingers up her nose and
Yeah.
got like chocolate smeared all over her face or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, come on, let's be honest. That's just reality,
Yep.
It's not like you do curated pictures for Instagram or anything.
Not me.
You just post it how it is.
All the time. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Real life. Hashtag.
Hashtag real life.
Yep.
So we are sister wiving tonight. And I watched this episode twice. I had to watch it. I watched it live and then I watched it again tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like there was a lot that was happening, but at the same time, there was a lot that wasn't happening.
I
You know what I
agree.
mean? Like I was more like concerned with like because I like just the differences because it was clearly just we had two conversations. We had the Christine and Janelle, and we had the Meri and Robyn. And the Meri and Robyn, like just the whole thing, I feel like I mean, there's a lot of individual things that I think that we need to address, but I think overall, like it was trumped up on a lot of nothing,
Yeah.
like
And it was going back and forth, back and forth. So it was harder to take notes because I'm like, oh, we're here in this combo. And then I just stopped caring and I'm like, well, they'll figure it out when I talk about it today. It's back and forth, ping ponging.
Right. Yeah. So and just some of the differences that I noted, like isn't the overall arc of the conversations, just interesting things like language, like the language used by Janelle and Christine versus the language used by Meri and Robyn. Meri and Robyn were very victim-y, very much these things happen to us. These things happen to the, what Christine did to Kody. Well, all these things, very victim, despite Robyn's declaration that she's never the victim. She doesn't want that at all. Versus Janelle and Christine are very much like we grew apart,
Mm-hmm.
I no longer want to be with that, like I don't feel like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a completely different kind of way of framing the same scenarios. Basically, they're both describing the same past.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very, interesting. Naturally, you're gonna have a little bit of victiming, oh, if they're leaving me, wow. But that goes way beyond, as we know, Robyn and Kody in their victimhood.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially Robyn. But just little things like that. And I'm sure we'll get to like specifics as some of the phraseology that they use, but
yeah. So this is season 18, episode 7, Throwing in the Towel, which is what I did tonight with Kaya. Why she's sleeping on the couch. Previously, we see Meri talking to her friend about moving her clothing business to the B&B, and Christine saying she can't trust Robyn and can't be friends with her. Kody meets with Janelle and asks her for a hug at the Mexican restaurant that they're always at. And Janelle says she doesn't deserve to be treated like how she's being treated. So that's kind of the summary that we get from last episode. Mm-hmm. Lo and behold, we see Janelle and Christine at the Mexican restaurant. And then we see Meri asking
divorces, you get a free nacho plate.
Yep. Then we see Meri asking Robyn to come over to tell her about her new life status. So again, we're cutting back and forth between the two locations. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, oh God, is this really that big of a deal that you have to call Robyn over to tell her
So yeah, like again with this, the Meri making the big deal, and Meri in the show making this huge ass deal about her, oh, I'm gonna move the business, quote unquote, which again, not a business, but okay. Moving her boxes of shit to the carriage house up at
AKA a she shed.
a shit shed at the Airbnb, at the B&B. And then she's making this big deal out of, oh my God, I have to tell Robyn. And she makes this big deal out of calling Robyn and saying, Robyn, can you come over? And then, oh my God, she's got to tell me something. And now we've seen this play out with Meri already, like 3 episodes now. And she's made it very clear that she's not leaving Kody. Okay. And if she says it one more time, like, I think she's going to get a set of steak knives because, oh my God.
Like, she's totally doing it on purpose. She's really doing it on purpose just to like make him miserable. At this point, that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think, because like literally she's like, fuck you. I divorced you. I'm just going to stay with you just to make you mad.
I would like to think that, but I don't think she's that clever. At all. No, I don't
think she's consciously even doing it. I think it's like a subconscious.
You're giving her a lot of credit that I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know that I have for her.
Yeah.
But so you're making this big deal out of it. So now, okay, so we use this as a whatever production trumped up excuse for them to have this big conversation in which they can blame Christine for all of the things, right?
Yeah.
So just get that out of the way. My utter hatred for the dragging out and embellishing of this particular aspect of the storyline. Carry on.
Yeah. So of course we cut back from that to Janelle and Christine at the restaurant, and both of them are saying how the last time they were both there separately with Kody, they were both with Kody, and they laughed. Like, yeah, we've seen the restaurant like 8 times now. Must be a good place. Let's go to Flagstaff and go visit it. Janelle says, you know how it is with him, always running around in circles, after telling Christine about the conversation they had and just what it's like to be in a relationship with him. It's just running around in circles, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, think.
Yeah. So then we cut back to Robyn and Meri, and Robyn has told Meri so many times not to leave her. And I'm like, wait, what? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm like, she should be telling her to be happy and to live her life. In which
we launch into the Robyn is the most selfish bitch on the planet portion of the episode.
Yeah. And then this is when Meri tells Robyn she's moving out of the house and moving her clothing business to the bed and breakfast. She said she's going to keep the house for now and will be coming back and forth, which is a 5-hour drive.
Which is stupid and ridiculous.
Yeah. And then later on, she goes to say that she's going to downsize the house or whatever. And what's going to happen with the relationship with Robyn and her kids, and the potential of the relationship with Kody?
The potential of the relationship with Kody. Like, oh, Meri, you're so fucking delusional.
Yeah. It's like, what? Huh?
But even worse than being delusional, like, it's just sad because like later she says, I've heard all the unkind things Kody has said about me, you know.
I know. It's
and very
heartbreaking.
mean, unkind things. But yet she still would go back to him in a heartbeat, regardless of how he has treated her. Like,
Yeah,
she's okay
she needs a
with the way he
therapist.
treats her. That's okay.
You know how one of the guests at the bed and breakfast left her that beautiful pillow of the picture of her and her mom?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to go to the bed and breakfast and leave a couple self-help books and attachment theory books on why people stay in certain relationships. And maybe she'll read them. Maybe she'll be like, oh, who left me this book on relationship advice and self-esteem and self-worth? Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll just mail it. Maybe we should just mail her books. Maybe they'll get to her.
We wanted to put up a billboard in between Flagstaff and Parowan. Saying Kody doesn't love Meri.
I don't even think she'd care. She'd be like,
she knows. See,
I know.
And this is the sad part, right? I mean, she's delusional in thinking that he's going to come back to her at all in any shape or form. But it's sad in that she is okay with, given how he's treated her and how he's been towards her, she's totally okay with all of that and would still take him back in a heartbeat.
Yeah, that's really, really sad.
That, you know, it's the whole thing is really sad. And she's got this, you know, and this is something that we need to talk to Dr. Becca about, because it's like the twisted up, like, religious training of, this is the structure, this is the patriarchal structure you're supposed to be, you know, that you're subservient to, and regardless of how he treats you, like, this is what you're sealed to this guy for eternity, all of your eternities. Whereas Christine and Janelle each, you know, decided that their God didn't want them to be that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they discovered that their gods actually didn't want them to be miserable and abused.
Do you think that Meri,
their gods were loving?
Do you think that Meri actually is staying with him because of the religious factor, or do you think she's just?
I think all of it is in her brainwashed little head. I think it's all part of it. And you know, I don't think there's any illusion that she has actually been staying at that house. Like, I feel like she's been at the B&B anyway. And she's just gonna like make it official because they need to have this contrasting conversation
Storyline
to the Janelle and Christine conversation. They need to have the other side or whatever. So, but I don't think it's going to change. And you see this. So you see Meri saying to Robyn, basically, like, at the end, like, you have to call me, you know. And you see Meri saying it in some of the interviews where, you know, she's saying that, no, it's been a long time, Robyn, you need to call me. Like, Robyn never calls me. Like, which further exemplifies how selfish Robyn is, because she wants Meri to stay around for her, but she doesn't even go out of her way to go talk to Meri. She just expects her to be there when and if she comes calling and needs her.
Yeah. And Meri's not setting boundaries, friendship boundaries, and is letting people walk all over her and being abused, basically.
Because that's what she's used to.
Right. Exactly.
And she thinks she has to do this because that's what she has to stay around, because that's what's, you know, otherwise Kody won't come back to her. Yeah.
And Robyn said she feels unsteady and says that Kody is being different, and she doesn't feel steady with him. But she said that her and Meri have always had a steadiness between the two of them, and they've always been there for each other. But again, like you just said, it sounds pretty one-sided in their friendship, that Meri's there for Robyn, but Robyn's really not there for Meri as much.
Right.
All right, back to Christine and Janelle. Janelle tells Christine she doesn't want to be married anymore, and she doesn't know how or what to do with that information. So obviously Janelle is still processing everything and taking the time apart from Kody to really think about everything.
Right. And Janelle here is just, you know, she's like, I went to the therapist. I'm staying separated from him. And in her interviews and in her conversation with Christine, she's saying it all comes down to we've grown and changed. I've grown and changed, and this isn't for me anymore. She's been able to process a lot of those things already. And she's doing this in a very smart way, in that she's like, and she says later, with all of the, oh, it's good fun, snarking with Christine about, Kody and Robyn and this and that, but she has to be very careful right now to keep that sort of out, so that she can make sure she's making her decision with her own thoughts and feelings, and she's not too influenced. And I think, she's really smart, and she's probably got a hell of a lot more willpower than I ever would.
Yeah, she's very logical.
Yeah, she
almost
is.
like pragmatic. Like, she's very, just logical on what she's thinking. A lot of women, we tend to be emotional, and like when it comes to relationships, love, things like that. And she's thinking logically, which I can tell you, I don't think logically most of the time when it comes to emotions, but
right.
It's a work in progress over here. So we're back to Meri. She's telling Robyn or whoever, it's a 5-hour drive from the bread and breakfast to Flagstaff. And it's hard to go back and forth a lot. And she doesn't want to be split so much. And she wants to find a smaller home.
Between?
I don't know.
What is happening in Flagstaff that she has to be there? Oh, I know. Filming.
Right. That's it.
That's it.
And maybe
that's the only thing.
Whatever parties or whatever are going on for the kids.
Right.
And then we cut to the scene of the kids riding the mini bikes that Kody got them for Christmas, while he didn't get his other kids anything.
Much less a phone call.
Right. And Aurora's like riding a 4-wheeler. And I'm thinking to myself, where did he afford all of these toys, these expensive toys for the kids, while Janelle, again, I go back to it, is in a small apartment. And
the Brown Family Trust.
Yeah. Like, what?
That's where like all the money got funneled to. They had like set it up where everything goes to Kody, just like in the Duggars, like all their money went up to Jim Bob.
Terrifying. And then we see Janelle and Christine at the restaurant drinking hot tea. I keep mentioning this hot tea, but I'm legitimately wanting to know why everyone in the Brown family drinks hot tea all the time. Like, I can't drink hot tea with Mexican food. It's just not a thing.
Yeah, not a thing. I agree. I don't know.
I'm just curious.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't know, because it's not the only time it's happened. We see it frequently.
And maybe it's because, I've worked in the restaurant business for so long that I hate making hot tea. I don't like making it. I will. But I'm just like, man, they drink it all the time. I mean, it's good for you. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. We digress. So
annoying because it's them.
Right. So Janelle says to Kody that she doesn't want him back in the house and that they are separated. And she said that they left saying they wanted to find a counselor, but neither one has initiated finding a counselor together. This is Janelle and Christine talking. And Christine said she thinks he's stringing her along like he did Meri and then her and now Janelle, which I agree with.
Absolutely.
He doesn't actually want to find a solution. He just wants to remain married. So there won't be embarrassment on all of his wives leaving and yada, yada.
Right. He can just do to Janelle what he's done to Meri and have her still be around, while he just keeps moving on and dipping his pencil, getting his pencil wet in whatever hole.
Yep. And Janelle says she can't think of a reason why she wants him to come back. So I think that says a lot too in her processing of the situation. Is she's logically thinking, what do I have to gain when he comes back? And if she can't even think of what he brings to the table and to her life at this point, then what's the point of it?
Right. And Janelle seems to realize that, anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry. Lost my train of thought. Sorry.
All good. Well, Meri, so we're back to Meri. Meri doesn't think Robyn believes her and why she needs to move. And I feel like this is exactly Meri being a people pleaser and caring about everyone else besides her. She cares too much about what Robyn thinks. Like, who cares? Move. Do what you got to do.
But she's not raised that way. Her brain doesn't work that way because she's nothing without her husband, right? She is raised in this patriarchal whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and Robyn says she's trying to remain calm. I'm like, bitch, you don't have a reason to remain calm. This is Meri's life. I mean, to get upset. This is like, you don't even call her. What are you
trying to
about?
remain calm? That this bitch that you never see ever, except for filming, is gonna like go off and do her thing, but she won't be around at your beck and call.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you can't, so that you can call yourself a polygamist, because God forbid you're a monogamist, you have to be, God forbid.
Right.
It really isn't her case. But it's like, like you only keeping her around so that you can say that your husband has other wives, so that you're not a monogamist, even though your behavior is, as Christine and Janelle accurately point out, that of a couple, and they're just
yeah. Yeah, and then Meri makes a statement, like kind of, she is saying what Kody would say if she left, which is, well, she's the one who's leaving. See, like that's why she doesn't want to leave him, because it'll give him the power to be like, well, see, look, Meri's the one that's leaving the relationship, like as though he tried or something. And I'm like, why again do you care what Kody thinks? He doesn't care about you at all.
Right.
As you can see, husband, though, all of his interviews, every episode when he talks about her gets worse and worse. And I'm like, at one point he's gonna be like, "F you, bitch!" Like I'm waiting for him to just like, just like go really bad, because I mean it's getting really, really, really bad.
Yeah.
Robyn says she wants Meri to hang on, but she feels selfish because of the whole experience of waiting to see if something can happen. It's got to be hard. It's got to be hard. I just want her to be happy. If you wanted her to be happy, you would support her in figuring out life after Kody.
Instead of like telling her like platitudes that probably aren't true about, he talks about, this is my impression of Lexi's impression of Robyn. He sees all of us out there on the property together with you, Meri, out there, which he's never said that. But she's just making this shit up to tell her so that she can string her along and keep her there.
Mm-hmm.
Give her the little breadcrumb, make her think Kody's gonna want her. And she even says as much.
She's breadcrumbing Meri.
Yes.
You're right.
Yes.
I didn't even think about it like that.
Yes. She's doing the same damn thing, and she basically admits to it in her interview. And then she said, she's like, I'm torn between telling her to go have fun and find your life and stay here with me. Bitch, you're not torn. You're telling her to stay here with you.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Okay, so then Meri goes on to say that she doesn't care about the relationship with Kody, but that she does care. She doesn't, but she does. She wants Kody to work on the relationship, but I don't know. I don't care. I do care.
I don't even know. Like, I don't care. I stopped caring.
I'm like, yeah, well, I can tell you he doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
And then Kody finally is being interviewed and says he felt bad about the fight between him and Janelle, and that they hadn't talked in 6 weeks. And he says Janelle just needed more time, but I think she's enjoying time without me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, she is. She's free.
And she told you that. Yes.
And she even said she felt like a weight was lifted off of her shoulder.
Mm-hmm. After that fight, or when she told him not to come back or whatever. Yeah.
And I think it's interesting, too, that Janelle said in her interview that there's been no outright abuse. What does that mean to you?
To me, that means he wasn't like physically abusive on a regular basis.
Okay.
I suspect that she means outright by physical. I think she means physical when she says that.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people do. They don't think of the mental and emotional abuse that like Kody clearly does to all of them. A lot of people don't think of that as abuse worthy of, I don't deserve a divorce because he doesn't hit me or anything.
Right.
You know? And really though, the other abuse is also as damaging or can be more damaging,
Right.
It doesn't mean it's less damaging just because it doesn't leave a physical scar on your body or,
Right.
So I think that's kind of what she means. And this goes to what she says here too, which is, if any of those things had happened, then I would deserve a divorce.
Right.
And so she feels guilty about wanting more for herself. And she's like, I just don't want to be married anymore, as if that's not a good enough excuse to get divorced.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be married anymore, I'd say that's the number one reason you should get a divorce.
Right.
That's
and I guess like
trying to,
in her church and her religion, trying to justify a divorce without a physical abuse or neglect would be more challenging, I would assume, because they would probably want them to work it out. And
she has all of that baggage, which is again going to be something to talk to Dr. Becca about the next time we have her on. She's watching Sister Wives, so to get her take on that religious indoctrination and how that affects her thought process on that now about being deserving of a divorce, like within her religion, quote, or whatever.
Yeah. I think it's interesting that Janelle said that both Janelle and Kody said that they hadn't talked to each other in 6 weeks. But then Kody goes on to say he's been calling her regularly to try and work out the relationship. So unless it was misediting, like they didn't.
No, I think he's just lying and he forgets that he already said these things, because everything he says that's a lie can be fact checked by the video that we've seen, by the seasons that have aired, much less the footage that it's on the cutting room floor. Like, he just doesn't care, or he forgets all the other lies that he has said. So he just, he doesn't know.
I still think he believes himself. Like, I don't think he is lying on purpose. I think he's such a pathological liar that he truly thinks what he's saying is true.
And he truly finds himself, the victim. And that's why he contradicts himself so often. You see in one episode him talking about being a great dad and always there with all his kids, but then in the next one saying, I don't want to spend time with my kids. It's not cost effective. I'd rather pay somebody else to do it while I go make money at work. Like, jackass, did you not just say you spend all this time with your family? Like, he literally does not remember what his lies are.
Right.
Oh, he's such a horrible father.
Well, then Meri goes on to talk about how she was on her own during the pandemic, and Robyn hasn't reached out a lot during the pandemic and then after. Surprise, surprise.
This part is interesting to me because I felt like Meri had some other stuff to say. Like, she has other things to say that she has not on camera.
Do you think about Robyn or what?
I think so, because she was very openly like, no, I think it's not true what they said. I don't think that's accurate. That's not true. Robyn doesn't call me. She's starting to call out some of that behavior. And some of the things that she has said are in line with some of the things that Janelle and Christine have said. And it's like, where's her alliance lie?
Do you think that she is just trying to keep the peace and she doesn't want to say too much to rock the boat because she wants everyone to like her or feel a part of the family?
I think the first part is absolutely true. Like, she doesn't want to rock the boat. She doesn't want to say anything that's going to like destroy the possibility that Kody might come running after her again. And like throw her up against a wall or something, or whatever they do in their circles to indicate primal lust, but which is never gonna
do something other than missionary position.
Which reminds me, I had a discussion about soaking the other day with a friend of mine.
Soaking?
Soaking, Mormons and soaking.
No.
Oh God, you're gonna make me explain it?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
It's like young Mormon they don't want to have premarital sex, right?
Uh-huh.
But it's like there's this thing, if you go in, like, sex is like the movement, if you're actively doing the movement. So they put the penis inside the vagina and you just hold it there.
No, stop it.
And no, it gets worse. It gets even better, is because you can't move, because you would be having sex then. But if you happen to be in that position and your friend jumps on the bed and makes the bed move.
Oh, stop it. I'm looking
I
this up.
swear to God, it's a thing.
I don't want it in my Google history though.
Look it up. I'm going to make you look it up. I'm going to send you the links and make you look it up.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
I see where, okay.
Mm-hmm.
but my thing is, if the penis is in the vagina, then how is that not sex? Movement or not?
Loopholes.
Loopholes.
That's I'm just saying, it's not my belief structure, clearly.
Oh my
Clearly
God.
it's not my belief structure.
It's like, hey, I got pregnant, but you're a virgin. Well,
that timing of that doesn't make it. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
The maths isn't mathing on that.
Is that how Jesus came to be?
It was the result of soaking.
Conception, or was it soaking? I don't know. I'm kidding.
You're gonna have to ask somebody who knows those
Do you think
stories.
Dr. Becca would be completely appalled if we asked her that? I'm kidding.
Oh my God.
I'm joking. I would never ask Becca that.
Yeah, you would never ask, but
no,
I would.
No.
Like,
I
oh
know
my
you.
God, Becca. And she would laugh. She'd be like, oh my God, she's hilarious. We love her. We love Dr. Becca. We've been talking to Dr. Becca a lot lately, because she's been watching Sister Wives, and she also started watching Seeking Sister Wife. So we've been talking about like the craziness of the realityness just in general of that, but then like the religious aspects and how that, the fucked up religious aspects of like the Kody Brown family, the AUB, and like the Duggars, Jill Duggar's book just came out, and I'm about to start reading that, and we're going to talk about that book and just all kinds of stuff. Anyway, but I digress. And now back. Hey, Fraudcasters. You guys already know that I love my Skims. It all started with their Fits Everybody collection, which is the softest underwear ever, and my favorite, the Fits Everybody t-shirt bra, which I now have in multiple colors. I was seeing their cotton loungewear all over my feed, so I had to see for myself what the hype was about. I am an absolute sucker for a good cotton, soft loungewear set. And let me tell you, these did not disappoint. They are the cutest, most flattering sets you will find ever. Skims is creating the next generation of loungewear for every body. I am currently wearing my most favorite from this collection, which is the boxers and the tank top in this beautiful kyanite color. This is so soft, and especially in the summer, and with me and my MS and always being hot, this cotton is so nice and cool against my skin. I just love it. It's this great fabric, and I'm absolutely just in love with this new cotton collection. This is Skims' most tagged collection. It is made with a classic cotton fabric for the most comfortable everyday wear. It's made from ultra soft and natural fibers. The cotton collection features elevated lounge pieces designed for comfort indoors or outside. Whoever said loungewear was only for inside the house hasn't tried Skims. Available in sizes double extra small up to size 4X. So believe the hype. Skims has over 100,000 five-star reviews for a reason. The cotton collection and more are available now at skims.com. Plus, you get free shipping on orders over $75. After you place your order, be sure to let them know we sent you. Select podcast in the survey and select our show, The Fraudcast, in the drop-down menu that follows. Hey, Fraudcasters. I'm here again talking about my Nutrafol. I use it, I love it, and you should use it too. Did you know that hair thinning will happen to approximately 1 in 2 women? If you're among them, know that you're not alone. Thinning is completely normal, and Nutrafol helps women address it from within with science-backed supplements. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement, clinically shown to improve visible thickness and strength. From postpartum to menopause to plant-based lifestyles, and no matter your life stage, Nutrafol has 4 unique formulas to support women. Each is physician formulated using drug-free, science-backed ingredients, so you will get the most reliable results. Go to Nutrafol.com to take their hair health wellness quiz. Identify causes of your thinning hair, and Nutrafol will give you a personalized plan for better hair growth through their whole body health approach. Nutrafol supports healthy hair growth from within by targeting root causes of thinning: stress, hormones, environment, nutrition, lifestyle, metabolism, through whole body health. Nutrafol is now available in a vegan formula. Their newest supplement is formulated for women ages 18 plus with plant-based lifestyles who are experiencing signs of hair thinning. In a clinical study, 86% of women reported improved hair growth after taking Nutrafol Women's Hair Growth Supplement for 6 months. Take the first step to visibly thicker, healthier hair. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code FRAUD. Find out why over 4,000 healthcare professionals recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code FRAUD. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code FRAUD. Hey, Fraudcasters. With the busy fall season already in swing, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals for jam-packed days. School's back in session, you're running around all over the place. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, can help you fuel up fast with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and stay on track with your healthy lifestyle. Relish the best of autumn with fall flavors. They're limited time only hearty comfort meals featuring seasonal veggies, meals like cranberry pecan chicken and apple Dijon pork chops, which, by the way, I just had for dinner tonight. Fantastic. Ready in just 2 minutes, they'll satisfy your fall cravings during the busy season without the hassle. You can even level up with gourmet plus options prepared to perfection by chefs ready to eat in record time. Treat yourself to the upscale meals with premium ingredients like broccolini, leeks, truffle butter, and asparagus. Head to factormeals.com/fraudcast50 and use code fraudcast50 to get 50% off. That's fraudcast50 at factormeals.com/fraudcast50 to get 50% off. To the Fraudcast.
So then we're back to Janelle. She's telling Christine she didn't know how final things were. And she said that they are separated. And Christine was like, that's great. Christine asked if Kody...
Christine was practically giddy.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, that's great. Come on, and Janelle was like, whoa, slow your roll. Slow roll. She was not ready for that. And then to her credit, Christine was like, she recognized that Janelle wasn't there yet and backed off. So
yeah. Well, Christine asked if Kody changed, would she want a full marriage with him? And Janelle said yes. So then they go on to say that they both agree that he has changed and they don't know who he is. Janelle said he used to be so dynamic and bold and everyone wanted to be around him. And I was just like, oh. And then Janelle goes on to say that he wants a woman who isn't independent and he's advocating patriarchy. And that's not what she believes in, and that's not what she wants. So the question is, was he like this all along and they didn't see it? Or did he really change? I don't know. I think it's a little bit of both. But Robyn also says he's angry, and Meri says both Robyn and Meri agree that he's also changed and become a different person.
Robyn was really reluctant to admit that, though. She was like, well, he's kind of different lately. Like she couldn't buy in. She couldn't like be seen as throwing all in with the camp who believes that he's changed. Because I think she couldn't blame Christine and Janelle, and she would have to include Kody's blame.
See, I disagree, because I think she said it enough where she's like, he's changed, he's angry, something's different. And then remember how he made the comment of, I just want to leave everything behind, like leave my whole entire family.
Yeah, but I think she's talking about him changing. He's just currently changed. Like he's angry currently because of the situation with Christine.
Yeah.
But not like he has changed as a person over the course of their marriage, which I think Christine and Janelle that's what they're saying. They're like, this isn't the same guy that we married. Like we've changed, or he's changed, or maybe, I don't know, and Meri says, no, he's changed. So I think the three of them all saying he's changed, Robyn can't be seen as throwing in her hat with the enemy. Because then she would, because like, again, then she would have to assign Kody his responsible blame as well. Because if he's changed, then he's partially at fault. And that would disrupt their entire little ecosystem on Earth too.
Well, then Kody's being interviewed and he says he wasn't the only one who has changed. He said that they've all changed. And Meri said she's sad for him because he's going downhill. So I don't know how she knows that because she's not with him. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Because she said she doesn't even really she doesn't get the stories about how he is with the other wives. Like she doesn't know. She's not in the know. So
yeah. Maybe. And then Meri goes on to say she doesn't believe he's lamenting because if he cared, he would have worked on it.
I agree.
I agree too.
Yeah.
I definitely agree.
And Robyn keeps saying her little platitudes and all this, and which is belied by contrary, evidence. The evidence would dictate otherwise, Robyn.
Robyn doesn't understand why Janelle isn't reaching out either, and why people aren't trying. And I'm like, they've been trying. They've given up.
They done been trying, bitch.
Yeah.
Okay, they're done.
I know. I'm pretty sure Christine and Meri were begging at one point to try to get things to work out back early on.
Right.
And then I put my next note just says, quote, divorce is embarrassing, Kody.
Oh, yeah. Is this the part where Meri asks Robyn, well, what about me then? Like, why doesn't he try with me or whatever? And Robyn's answer is, well, that's the $1 billion question, isn't it? And it's like, bitch, it's not a $1 billion question. He doesn't try with you because he doesn't want you. He doesn't love you. Kody doesn't love Meri. He doesn't want to try with her because he doesn't love her.
Not only does he not love her, I think he's like appalled by her. Like he looks like he is disgusted by her.
Right.
He hates her. I don't even think oh, poor Meri.
Well, he says in one of his interviews here that he feels like he and Meri have gotten to the place where they get along. And I don't think that that's accurate. Because again, Kody is not a reliable narrator of events in his life. But I mean, Meri alluded to it some. She's like, yeah, we're not as hostile, I guess.
What a terrible way to live.
So it's like neutral now, I guess. So that's like, okay, don't want to disrupt that little ecosystem.
Yeah. Well, Christine goes on to say she's not close with Robyn, and she wasn't close to Robyn, and I guess they were saying that Robyn plays victim and Kody treats Robyn as though she's the victim.
Mm-hmm.
And then Robyn goes on to say, I'm not a victim. And that she won't allow herself to indulge in that thought process. Yeah, you're shaking your head.
You're like delusional.
Mm-hmm. And Janelle, see, this is something we hadn't heard yet. Janelle says that Robyn wanted separate childcare for the children, whereas Janelle and Christine kind of had each other growing, with the kids being around the same age, and they had a system down where Christine watched the children, Janelle went to work. And I didn't know that how much that affected their decision and being upset with Robyn and like yada yada, because Janelle later says that was like drawing a line in the sand, that I guess Robyn chose having a nanny with her children over, I guess, the sister wife. I don't know if they meant like the sister wives are going to help watch and raise the kids.
I wondered that too, because they left that part unsaid, which makes me wonder about the editing, but whatever. But yeah, like I found that really interesting because that was new information, I think, because, they're outright saying, they're like, yeah, when she came in and she wanted a different childcare situation, and
Right.
was how they phrased it. And
which the other ladies were not afforded at the time, right? They were forced to raise the children because that was their role and duty, right?
Right. They didn't have the money, and that was how they had to do it. Janelle went to work, Christine watched the children. That was just how it went. So when Robyn came in and then she started having her babies, and I guess they were a little bit younger, but not entirely at that point. I mean, when Robyn came in, she still had the others, what's her name? Brianna, and Dalton and stuff. Like, did she have a nanny with them?
No. Oh, she was a single
at
mom,
what
remember?
point did the nanny come on scene? And I do wonder, was it a shun to the others, or is it just because of, it was shitty all around to get it, no matter what your reasoning for it.
Why does she need a nanny when she wasn't working? We were talking about that. Like, why do you need a nanny?
It was shitty for so many reasons. But if it was also, in addition to all those shitty reasons, also a slight to Janelle and Christine,
right? Like, I don't want you watching my kids, or I don't want you being a part of their lives.
I hadn't considered that aspect, and
neither did I.
That hanging.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll get more into that, because that was new information that I was just like, whoa.
Yeah, that introduces a different dynamic. That's like
we know, like, the funny comments, like, what does the nanny do in Coverly, but nobody ever asked or said anything about the why there was a nanny. Really, it wasn't really brought up. Well, then Christine goes on to say she could have been a better sister wife, but that she did a lot of great things as a sister wife. And Janelle said how you treated Robyn was meant, like, if you were a good or bad sister wife, not anything else you did, but it was all about how you treated Robyn, which we kind of all knew.
Right, because Christine says, was I a good sister wife, and or was I actually a bad sister wife, like Kody says, and excuse me. And Janelle's like, well, he, it's only one towards one person is what he's talking about, and they say that, which is, yes, what we mean is. Yeah, because you weren't treating her whatever because she's this perennial victim, and you don't put her up on a pedestal the way he does, and
Yeah, and not only that, Janelle said that anytime she went to Kody with anything about issues, you could never bring up Robyn because he would automatically shut it down and defend her and not listen to anything that she had to say. It was always about Robyn being correct, or that she was the victim. And you could not come to him with anything and tell him otherwise.
Right. You couldn't, you couldn't break his little, but Robyn came to the family with her hat in her hand, and blah, 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 blah. He refuses to see any of it, and they can't get through the curly cues.
The curly cues. Kody said that his struggles with Janelle are about his pain because it's all about him. So
his pain.
His pain. His pain.
His poor, like beta male ego was bruised. His pain is so painful. Like when he had the COVID and his 98-degree fever or whatever the hell he had. Jesus Christ.
When he was dying. Yeah, exactly. And Robyn said she never turned Kody against the other sister wives, and that they need to stop talking about her. I'm like, okay.
Whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
This is between me and her and our stuff. Okay, yeah, your stuff is because of her, and you won't acknowledge that. You and Christine had issues because you treated her and her children differently than Robyn. If you don't acknowledge the Robyn in that scenario, you're never going to get to the root of the problem. And in Christine, and I think Janelle now too, they all realize that. And they're like, no, you can't. You can't.
Yeah. And then Robyn goes on to blame Christine, saying that Christine messed him up and destroyed his past.
When what Christine he thought was this.
Right, was a functional situation.
It was a functional situation for you.
Exactly.
Not for Christine.
And Christine goes on to say that she's not going to be responsible for him losing his faith. I'm like, you go, girl. Like,
and she dropped with the truth bomb there. She was like, I don't have that much control over him. I never
yep,
did.
exactly.
Which is like,
yep.
You know?
Yep. And I guess Kody was telling Robyn that Christine was saying that every moment of the marriage was miserable. So Meri goes on to say that she doesn't believe that Christine said that. I don't know. She didn't call Kody a liar or Robyn a liar, but she was like, I don't believe that Christine said that.
Yeah, the unsaid portion. What she said was, I don't believe that Christine ever said that or ever felt that.
Yeah, and then Kody doesn't think that Christine was a good fit for polygamy, which I do agree with that, though.
Making new excuses.
No,
it's true.
I do think that's true, though. I really do.
Ultimately, yes, but I mean, it was a good fit for her for a good portion of her life.
I don't think it was, though. I think she hated every moment of it. And you know what? Christine and I are vibing. We're both Aries. We both are very jealous and very powerful.
You have the same taste in men outside of Kody.
Oh, fuck no, we don't have the same taste in men. What are you talking about?
Christine, her desires like the tall, bearded, tattooed guy.
Yeah. Well, he's also a little old, but yeah, I guess.
I meant generally
strong, masculine men,
specifically.
Right? Yeah, you know, like probably, masculine guys that take control because we like to be in control. We need somebody to rein us in. Yeah. Oh, totally. I could see why Christine would absolutely hate polygamy. I could never. But I think she tried. I think she wanted it to work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then you're also dealing with Kody, so of course she's not going to like it. Like, duh.
Yeah. It was all she knew. She'd never kissed anybody else, much less imagined a life other
Did she
than
soak anyone else. What is
anything other than what she had. Like she didn't imagine her life to be anything different than what she had with Kody. Oh, and then you bring Robyn in, and then suddenly things start changing, and she starts. It's not all polygamy and parenting.
Yeah.
It's I'm being treated like shit. Suddenly I'm being condescended to in a way that I wasn't before. Suddenly things are starting to be not as acceptable as they were before, because you're adding these extra layers that I'm not. Now that you're stripping away what was good, the things I was getting from polygamy, now you're stripping all that away. What am I here for? What am I even here for? You're not treating me like I put up with the other women because you were at least treating me semi-decent, like, but now you're treating me like with outright contempt and disdain. Like, that's not okay.
Yeah. And Christine was so busy raising the kids. I don't even think she had time to think about too much.
For real. I think her and Janelle both. I think it was like that for just like any other like a monogamous couple. You get a lot of those, right?
Yeah.
The empty nesters suddenly realize that they have nothing in common with their spouse anymore,
Yep. Well, let me see Robyn. She said she's worried Meri's going to say she doesn't want to do this anymore, and she doesn't blame her. I'm like, again, you should be encouraging her to leave, not sitting back and worried about leaving her. Like, ew.
Yeah.
Now this is what pissed me off. Well, everything made me upset in this episode, but Meri said that she thinks that only her and Robyn are able to really talk about the hard stuff in the relationship. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, like
what? Huh? Are you she's Delulu, #Delulu.
Oh my god, Delulu.
Yeah, that's a Delulu. Ugh.
Delulu row.
Delulu row. You should start a new hashtag with that. Start a trend on Twitter or whatever. What is it? I don't even know. Whatever platform you use. TikTok, the TikTok.
The TikTok.
And Christine made an interesting statement. She said that Kody was a guest at her family parties. So Christine, I guess, threw them all and Kody just showed up.
Right.
But at Robyn's house, he actually helped Robyn throw the parties.
Mm-hmm. And that's where they say, it felt like they're a couple and the rest of them are just around versus them all being a polygamous family.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah. And that's what changed. And you can't, that's what changed. Robyn came into the family and you fell in love with her, and that's what happened. And you started treating everybody like shit, and your little, beta male ego and all of your weird machinations about patriarchy and masculinity all tied up in your weird desires to control these women who find you repulsive.
Yeah.
When they start finding you repulsive, you suddenly have to completely flip the script in the narrative so that you're not wrong. You're not the dinosaur, or not the dinosaur.
The dinosaur.
The dragon dinosaur. Jesus Christ. I don't know what I was going to say. My MS brain at words lately. I've been having a lot of hard time.
We can call him a dinosaur. I mean, whatever. Yeah.
Dumb. Well,
then Meri's sitting there talking to Robyn again and says, "There's no question, Robyn. He's done with me." Like, yeah, no shit. And then Robyn goes on to say, "He talks about you out there."
Oh, like, the property.
I'm like, does he really though? And if he does, it's probably not nice.
Right? Like, I guess we have to build a house for Meri out back, like a doghouse.
Right. The she shed, round 2. She shed 2.
Flagstaff edition.
Yeah. The guest house in the backyard. Yeah, Meri said she's heard him say bad things about her. I guess it got back to her or whatever.
Well, and she's watched the show and seen what he has said on camera.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, then Kody goes on to say he thinks him and Meri get along with each other, and he doesn't want to reconcile the relationship because he doesn't think it's a fit for him. And I'm like, say what? So you're gonna just let things be?
So here, yeah, he understands that his relationship with Meri, he can say it's not a fit for him, and he understands that. But when it's reversed and Christine says the marriage is no longer a fit for her, he can't understand that.
He can't grasp that. No.
He cannot grasp that concept.
And he's ruminating and...
Correct.
Yeah. And then Kody goes on to say that 80 to 90% of separations end in divorce.
Which she doesn't know. Does she know this? Yeah, she probably does know that. She knows it and she's moving towards it. She just can't say the words yet.
Yeah.
She's already there.
Yeah.
She's done with your ass, Kody.
Exactly. And Janelle goes on to say she's not interested in dating. That unless God or whoever like put a man right in front of her with arrows pointing towards him, that she just wouldn't she's not ready.
Of course.
But she does say that it's a new chapter for her and that a weight has been lifted off of her shoulders.
And that tells you a lot. Like when she said that it felt like a weight was lifted off, like after she told him to get out and stuff, like that says so much.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
When that's what you feel, when you feel like you've been relieved of the weight when he's gone, it's a little telling. And I think she knows subconsciously and maybe even consciously that she's moving towards divorce, but she's probably not there yet because she's trying to be logical and smart about her finances before she tells him she's done. Sign right. Peace out of this Kody family trust nonsense.
Right. Christine said Janelle cried over her leaving when Christine moved the year before. But Christine has not cried about leaving Kody yet. Again, telling. And Christine also goes on to say that her and Janelle have a bond that's cemented together, which I thought was beautiful.
Yeah. They'll always be sister wives.
Yeah. Well, then we go on. That moment is short-lived when we then hear Robyn say she's torn between Meri finding her happiness and her figuring out stuff here. And I'm just like,
figuring out stuff here, she means staying around here so that when I want to go and be the victim, I have somebody who can put me in that role. Meri will play the role of whatever rescuer or whatever it is that will allow Robyn to be a victim. And she needs that around. So that she's and again, the choice of language between the two sets of women is just diametrically opposite. It shows the diametrically opposite places they're in. You know, you've got Robyn and Meri, all sad and morose motherfuckers, and then you've got Christine and Janelle, all light and joy and full of hope and happiness and promise.
Yeah, definitely.
Not blame and victimization and poor is me.
Well, here comes the Robyn, woe is me. She says she loves Kody, but she doesn't want to live monogamy. And she feels more and more like that's where it's headed. She's always wanted to live plural marriage, and she feels like she's been tricked. So she feels angry and depressed.
You weren't tricked, Robyn. It wasn't a trick, okay? It was you married into this family when you married, and then but the guy you married fell in love with you, and turns out he's actually kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
And
just a little bit.
And they decided that they were done with that and left. So it wasn't that you were tricked. It wasn't like they all got together and said, ooh, let's pretend we're this big happy family just to get Robyn in here, and then we'll go poof. And then 10 years down the line, after more children and more family and stuff, then I'm gonna leave you, okay? Let's like the long con. Like, no, Robyn, that's not how it went down.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Delulu. Everyone, Delulu.
Delulu. Hashtag because of Delula.
Delusional. Next time we see Christine wanting Janelle to move closer to her, and Meri tells Kody about her moving the clothing business, and to which he says, it actually has no effect on me. I have one wife I have a great relationship with, and I'm afraid if I abandon these women, they will lose respect for me. I'm like, oh my God, I can't even say the quote.
I don't know. I was hoping, so like they show this preview of Meri saying this, right? I'm going to move, but I'm not leaving you. And I had in my head, like he was going to say, why don't you?
I know. It's like they're both trying to see who can not say the words.
They're gonna outlast each other. They're gonna try to see who can outlast each other. How to lose a guy in 10 days.
How to never lose a guy. How to make them stay forever.
Right.
It's like Cody's like every douchebag guy that doesn't have the balls to break up with somebody, so they just treat him like shit and drag
Meri's
them out.
Meri's calling his bluff.
Right, hoping that they'll like break up with them, so then they can be like, "Oh, see, she broke up with me."
And the marriage, I'm all about polygamy. I'm the big polygamy guy. Respect me.
Yep.
But Meri's calling his bluff and being like, "All right,
yep,
I settle in for the long haul."
What a terrible way to live! Oh my God,
it's awful.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing Kody and Janelle go out for her birthday because he looks super excited, and
This is gonna be interesting.
Do you think she's gonna break it to him?
I don't.
If she doesn't want to be with him on her birthday.
I don't know. I've given up on my. I mean, I've been fooled by the Meri preview edit cut before, so I don't want to be like thinking I know how it's gonna go because I've been fooled by their edits on the preview. So I don't know. I can't say.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see next week.
We shall see.
Okay. I think that's it, right?
Yeah, I think that is.
Okay. All right. Thanks for listening. Peace out.